You want to get out of the city and experience the Poconos. Here is 1905 Exeter Drive in the Poconos. And let me switch the camera. And this is the property that you can book on Airbnb. As you see, it's a pretty big house. Let me just step back so you can see it. So it has, as you see, the basement, the main level, and the upper level. I'm going to do a walkthrough of the house and the properties. You come onto the property, you're going to be met by stairs on both sides. And going up the stairs, I counted roughly 9 steps going up. On a perfect summer day or spring day or even a fall day, you can sit right here and enjoy the view of the houses in front of you. So being here, you might feel like you're the only one here. Your neighbors might be some squirrels, some bear, and some deer. And to get inside this property, here we are. You have to put in your code, and this door is already open, so you won't need to see the code. You step into the house, and the first thing that you'll notice is this table over here that you can set anything on. You have one bathroom here, and I'll call this the main level. And you have a sink right here. You have a thermostat here. This is a Honeywell home thermostat. Light bulbs that all light up. And you have a vent there. And the shower, it has some accessibility tools right there. And they supply the soap for you. And that noise that you hear is, as I close the curtain, is the washing machine. So you see you have your towels here, you have your dryer on one side, and the washer that is washing some of the linens that were used during this trip, just to make it easier for the people cleaning up, even though they charge a cleaning fee. If you can do it, why not? It also makes whoever you're staying with give you a better rating, maybe, not sure. So the next thing you'll see is this living room, and it is massive. And the first thing you'll notice is that you have a lot of natural light emanating from the window right there. And you look up and you see 2 windows above you, which very interesting because when it was a full moon, you could see the moon right outside of it. And even though when it was pitch dark here in the Pocono Mountains, you can actually see the moon moving across the sky, where if you live in the city and you're indoors, you might not get a chance to see it. And over here in this property, you have a Samsung 55-inch screen TV that you can connect wirelessly through your phone or through your computer, through Bluetooth, which is Apple AirPlay, which is another added bonus if you have your modem, the router. And over here you have a fire pit that's a nice touch to the aesthetics of it. And perhaps it does work, but if you open it and you look above it, you'll see there's some insulation, so it might not be functioning. And I didn't even want to try it because if it's locked up, you might burn something or have this area filled with smoke. So we left that alone. They provide the Wi-Fi password for you here. And there's some scented candles in case you wanted to turn off the light and light those up. Even though I didn't read the policy as far as if you can light a fire indoors or not, but just left that alone. They provide you with the remote control for this TV. And one added feature that is good, especially if you have children or for yourself, they do have Netflix pre-programmed into your TV, so you don't have their TV, so you won't have to use your own account. And here you have a remote control for the thermostat. So in case you're wondering, this is a Cooper Hunter thermostat, and it works very well. Another thing about this property, since it has natural light coming in, which meaning the sun comes in here at around 11 or 12, it does start getting warmer because of the sun light coming into this place. And also it's well insulated, so you don't have to worry so much about heating this place. Another thing is over here you'll have some chairs and a dining area over here that you can easily fit about 8 people. And there's a baby seat in case you need it. You have your windows that slide open and more natural light coming in here. This back door you don't use. The kitchen right there in front of you. They have a Kenmore range, electrical. Here you have a Whirlpool microwave. If you have a blender, you have your knives already here. They have cookware already set up for you, which is a added benefit. If you go to a hotel, you might not have these available. And so you can cook while you're here. They have a dishwasher, which we did not use, but there it is in case you need it. They provide some spices for you, some baking supplies. This refrigerator here is a Frigidaire. And there it is. We left it nice and clean and empty. And here also on the main level, you have another room, which is a good view. Also has a MISA thermostat in here. And the remote control that you use outside will also control this one here. And the bed over here is very comfortable. So mostly this room was not used, but just so you can see, it's well stocked. And you have a writing desk here in case you want to get away from it all. The walls are kind of thin, so if whatever noise is happening outside might disturb you from your writing here. But you might want to jump into the closet where they have extra linens, some hangers, and space for you to put suitcases and things like that. All right, let's move downstairs. I wish you could see it at night. They have the lighting here is sufficient. As we walk towards the basement, you'll see that we have another room and a nice comfortable bed. Actually, I don't know how comfortable it is, but it looks comfortable. And there you have the same remote control. We'll control this Cooper Hunter air conditioning, AV system, air conditioning and heating system. Here you have for your hand towels. Here you have the same kind of tub that you saw upstairs. Is the paint peeling a little bit? Yes. Is it a deal breaker for me? No. Trash over here, nice toilet. And most toilets in here, except for one, you press for one side if you're just gonna go number one, and press to the right, you're just gonna go number two. And I'm gonna show you a big selling point for this property. A big selling point. Here you have smoke detectors also here. Is this pool table that you have here. But not only is it a pool table, can you use a pool table, it also has this. You can convert the pool table into a table tennis table. They also have extra cues in case you want to set up a game with 4 people. And it's also served as storage space if you need it. Get things out of the way. Nice pool table. You can tell it's been used, but it adds to the charm of it. And here you have one of these wood burning stoves down here with all the tools you need. And also that's something that I didn't need to try. It's very charming. And it probably works. Look, it left residue on my finger. And here you have extra supplies for table tennis and extra billiard balls in case you need it. And over here, you have a sitting area. I'm not sure if that's a sofa bed or not. This area was not used. So it was a lot of space. There's a lot of space in this house, 3 different rooms or play areas. And this was recently used. This is a sauna. This is another big selling point in this property. And they leave instructions on what you're supposed to do when you're in here. But in case you never use a sauna, the temperature setting is on one side and the timer is on the other. And this area over here you won't touch because you don't want to get electrocuted. And you don't want to put water on top of these stones that will get real hot. And it takes about 15 minutes to warm up. So this will set the temperature. It says to leave it on 1. And then over here, you set the timer, let's say for about 10 minutes. And then after that time is done, this will be over. It has a light switch outside that will light up inside here. Just make sure the door's closed. If you have a lot of people, make sure everyone's in there at the same time, because every time you open this door, you will lose heat. You lose steam. Here's the table. These are 3 separate tables. You can use it as a footrest or just to put your drinks down or whatever you need to do. They also provide a basketball for you it didn't have air when we got here, but we, friendly enough, filled it up with air with our air pump. And it's a nice bouncing basketball. They do have on this property, not on the property, but further down the road, they have basketball courts and tennis courts. And this is the basement door. Let's say we want to go outside. And also, don't forget they have a thermostat in here too. This doesn't need to be on because I'm about to go. So turn that off, save some power. You also have a propane tank here in case you want to grill. They have 2 propane tanks in case you want to grill and use it. It's a charbroil grill. Open it up. They provide the tools for you. You have a broom over here in case you need to sweep up, and a burner over here. It's all functioning. These are all things that went without use. And over here is another big selling point, that perhaps the thing that perhaps needs the most help in this property, because everything else is fine, but for a few days this was not working. Let's say for 3 days, 4 days, this was not working. And when we finally did get it to work, this error code, which just kept popping up, it's an E90 code. It could be the filter, and they tell you to leave it on all the time. The highest it ever got was about 102, but when you take the cover off, it stays between 99 and 101. It's outdoors, so you expect that. But for most of the trip, this was not working. So if that's a deal breaker for you, just make sure that you know that this is something that it looked like they're having problems with. And the communication was back and forth was that someone was going to come right away and fix it, but it didn't come until 3 days later. But when it worked, it is fine. It's a good piece of equipment to have on any property. It's a selling point, especially in the winter, but I can imagine also in the summer. And they have seats out here where you can sit and have a good time, get some drinks. It's quiet enough the whole time that we were here. I doubt that we saw more than 5 people. There are cameras in the property, they say, but if there are, we don't know where they are, and perhaps that's a good thing. So that's been the property here in the Poconos. I'm glad that you were able to get this walkthrough of this property. If you want to see the back of it, we can walk to the back. We were able to see deer while here on the property. There were squirrels even on top of the house, which can spook you if you're not from the country. But just know that it's all part of nature. These are some trash back here. You can start a fire back there. And yeah, you're close to everything back here in a way. They have this storage shed back here. And that's been the review of this property. It was a wonderful stay. At most, this house had 4 people. Just make sure, another thing is that when you're checking in, just confirm the process, because a lot of times the people who are renting you these properties, they're not in the same state. So whatever logistics have to be made, make sure that they're made beforehand, because if they have to hire somebody who is part of the maintenance crew or the cleaning crew, and they have something that's not functioning, they might not be able to get to you until the next day. A lot of these properties are rented for our Airbnbs, but not necessarily from the person who lives here is not necessarily in the same state. So just keep that in mind, because you want things to be working when you get here. You have a coffee maker, you have a toaster, and this is Monroe County, and they have a list of things that you can't do. You can't have loud parties. You can't shoot your guns. You can't drink. You can't, throw fireworks on the property. You can't speed, and it's all finable offenses here. And if you like it, after you stay for your first time, you're given a discount of 20% that you can arrange with the people who rented the place for you for a few days. And this, if you have children or just want to fit extra people in here, here's a bunk bed. Here's I would say a full-size bed maybe. It's well lit, and pull down blinds and more natural light. So the selling points here are the hot tub, the pool table, the sauna, and this tub that you have in one of the master bedrooms. One thing I will say about this tub, it's gorgeous. And it holds a lot of water. And you control it by this thing on the wall here that controls the jets. See those little holes there? Those are the jets. And here's a thermostat for this room. And it will be heated up by air coming out from here. Now, one drawback is that the boiler downstairs doesn't necessarily hold as much hot water as you would like it to fill this tub. It doesn't. So what you would have to do is you can start with cold water and then fill it up with hot water. But from my experience, I didn't really get to use it as much as I thought I would, because of because there's not enough hot water in the boiler to hold the amount of water that goes in here. So it's a selling point, but just know that if you're depending on using it, the water mostly will stay cold. So let me just shut this off. It's dripping for some reason. All right. So that's it. That has been the property here. Has a ceiling fan that sometimes could come in handy at night when you're sleeping. And that's it. Thank you for joining me in this walkthrough of this property here in the Pocono Mountains. It's a place to come you can't come here every season, I would say. Will I be back? Probably. Did people enjoy this house? Probably. I would say yes. There's enough things to do in the Poconos. Don't get bored. It could be a alternate vacation place that you go to instead of just having to go down the shore or going to another country. You just want to stay a few hours away from New York or Pennsylvania or Philadelphia, wherever you are, Delaware, wherever you are. And that's it. You want to hear the birds in the morning? Here it is. They have horseback riding nearby. They have everything nearby. A lot of restaurants and go-kart racing. They also have ATVs. They have paintball, everything. A lot of things that you don't necessarily get when you go to some places down the shore. All right. Thank you for joining me here. Bye.